welcome to Let's Be Real. I'm your host, Joe Mambu. Today I have a special guest from downtown sports. His name is John Schiavone, the mouth of the South. What's going on, my man? What- Listen, that's what it was supposed to be, but complications. Complications. It'll be all right. So it'll just be me and you today, and we got some interesting things to talk about. This episode is 137 called The Slim Reaper. Everyone knows you refer to Kevin Durant as the Slim Reaper. Uh, yeah, yeah. Listen, it was a great game last night. It was an insane game. 48 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists by Kevin Durant. Giannis putting up a 40-point game. And it was just super close. Very interesting. But before we talk about KD, there's also the Clippers making the playoffs for the first time in 50 years, which is a bit ridiculous. Yeah. What's that? What's that condition? Mmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think the West is taking it this year. I feel like, the Sixers and Hawks game is tonight. That's the one at 8 p.m. We got to see how that one goes. Yeah, because Ice Trey has been killing, and Ben Simmons has been looking putrid. Brooklyn Nets kind of dealt with that along with Joe Harris. They actually have similar shooting numbers throughout the series, which to me is a bit insane. Uh, but the last topic is Chris Paul out indefinitely. Now we knew Chris Paul has turned back the time in that series against. Yeah, yeah, he definitely became. Yeah, nah, he hasn't been the point guard. He hasn't been the point guard in a while. And listen, that series against Denver, they swept them, right? They swept a team that has the MVP of the league, right? Which is impressive. But let's talk about the. Yeah, that's true. They didn't have the guard play. Will Barton tried to step up, but you can only do so much to stop the leak from Jamal Murray not being there. So let's talk about that Chris Paul thing, right? How do you feel? Game one is tonight. Well, game one is today, actually. It started an hour ago. Suns versus the Clippers. First of all, who you picking out of that series to win? Really? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 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 Well, no, to be fair, Paul George is known as one of the best wing defenders. I think even his stint in OKC and Indiana, he became a defender. So that was the big thing about Kawhi and Paul George coming together because you had two dogs on the wings that can basically guard 1 through 4. Uh, no, he wasn't. You know what it was? He gave himself that nickname. That was the problem. Uh, when you give yourself a nickname, it's kind of hard to live up to it. I feel like to earn a nickname, people have to give it to you. But within this series, with the Clippers beating the Jazz, he stepped up. Paul George stepped up pretty big. Playoff P came. He arrived. He didn't do what Kevin Durant did in Game 5 with that 40-point triple double. But he did come with like 39, 8, and 17 or something like that. Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. I mean, this series is going to be interesting, though, right? I know we're supposed to talk about the Chris Paul thing, uh, but yeah. So he still has. So he still has to approximately wait 10 days, or is it still uncertain? Yeah. 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 So I. Yeah. Oh my God. Which is true. The thing that I read was that if he gets two negative tests within 24 hours, he can, you know, come back and play in the series. Which I don't know which way they're gonna go, but I know Monty Williams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it would be horrible for Chris Paul to miss any games. I mean, he's missing game 1, but anything like past game 3 would be a disservice. I'm hoping Cameron Payne, Mikal Bridges, and Devin Booker. Devin Booker, he plays a little bit of point guard during the regular season. Hopefully they can, hold the float until Chris Paul comes back, man, because what Chris Paul did in that series against the Nuggets was amazing, man. You know what I mean? Even to the point where it's like, the NBA, like analytics, they talk about the mid-range game is dead. But Chris Paul killed him that entire series with the mid-range game. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you think about it, man. Kawhi Leonard kind of won a championship off of that mid-range game for Toronto. You know what I mean? Yeah. The mid-range game. Yeah. 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 I mean, that's the thing. You think about it too, man. Like, yeah, Trey's all in between. But the thing, the hardest thing to have in your arsenal is a pull-up jumper, right? Because you never know when it's going to be released. You know what I mean? So they're using it effectively in the playoffs. And you think about it, in the playoffs, it's more of a half-court game. You're not running up and down, you know. Like the reason why Giannis is so dominant during the regular season is because, listen, he's bringing the ball up. Budenholzer did a good job of getting Drew Holiday to do more of that this year than Giannis. right? But when it comes, wait, who's gonna get Kyle Lowry? Oh man, you think that's gonna happen? The Bucks are. You think so? Hmm. I can see that. I would have to interject as a guy who I think may be better than Giannis. And he plays for the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. Skill set wise, skill set wise, he's probably the best player outside of LeBron. Like skill set wise. The guy can the guy can average a triple double if he wanted to. You know what I mean? I look at no, but it kind of is his game because you think about it. That's what he did in the bubble last year to get the Clippers out. He was doing it this season. He does it in regular season games. To me, Luka Doncic is the best player because Luka Doncic could give it to you half mid range. He could give you the 3-point shot. He can pass. He can rebound. He could do just about everything, and he's not quick. You know, the thing about Giannis is that there's a lot of times you see Blake Griffin during this series leaving him open, and he's banking threes off the backboard. To me, you know, he's definitely better than Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons wouldn't even attempt it. But Giannis to me is like if Shaq played in the modern day game. You don't think so? Who would you say? Mm, yeah, 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 yeah. Nah, I never. Yeah. No, but that's the thing though. The well, that's the thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you say Giannis' game kind of compares to Dirk a little bit? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, Giannis will give you about 4.5 assists a game. You know, yeah. But I know the knock on Dirk a lot was he wouldn't play in the post. He didn't do that till really later in his career. I know they used to complain about that a lot. Where Giannis, why people compare Giannis to Shaq is because Giannis eats in the post. The problem is that during the when it's the playoffs, he tries to go downhill, and you know people are more willing to take charges. They wall up, and you know they prepare for a 7-game series. You know you're playing the same person. To me, the guy on the Bucks, the you know Middleton doesn't get enough credit. But Middleton hit a key fadeaway shot yesterday in Game 7. Uh, and Brook Lopez with a key block. But Drew Holiday, man, I think the problem with Giannis is that Giannis is a big that tries to play like a guard. And the thing was, why I say KD is better is because KD, he's a guard who's just 7 feet tall. You know what I mean? Like Giannis is they want Giannis to play like KD, but it's like yo, well, Zion is a little undersized for that. He's a 6'7" power forward slash center. You know, I mean Charles Barkley did it back in the day being 6'4", but I think yeah, I think Zion needs to up his game a little bit. I know he's a little bit unhappy in New Orleans. Maybe want to come to New York. You think to New York? Hey, listen, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. So you don't think you don't so you think that Giannis is better than KD. Now, I'm not a KD fan, but KD can do everything under the sun. Oh, the MVPs. Yeah, I think so. No, Giannis definitely did. The only knock I had on Giannis was while playing against Kevin Durant, the Nets, he's claimed that he was the best player right now. And that's what made me ask the question because, Kevin Durant went off. No. Yeah. I get that. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. No, I get that, but listen, I hear you, but I think Kevin Durant's a special player. I would even put right now Luca over Giannis. The thing is, those two MVPs, right? If Kevin Durant didn't tear his Achilles, there's a good chance he could have been in the running. You know, uh, he wasn't, but it's hard for me to give because I feel like the MVP award now is like a popularity contest. You know what I mean? Uh, well, yeah, his PERs, yeah. But you did say he went head to head with Katie. The only thing is the Brooklyn Nets was like 1.5 stars, where they have, game five, Budenholzer and the Bucks was trying to figure out how effective Harden was going to be. Obviously, with the hamstring injury, he was still on the one leg, right? They still had that MVP caliber, well, not even caliber, MVP decoy in James Harden, right? Which allowed Kevin Durant to go off for those 49 points in game five. I felt like game seven, they kind of identified, how well Harden can move with the ball and did a better job of playing him. Kevin Durant still went off. But if that team, if Kyrie wasn't injured, I definitely think Brooklyn was winning the series and the championship. Uh, with, yeah, 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 yeah. Wait. You telling me? Wait, so you telling me? Yeah, yeah. They definitely did. Joe Harris, that series had putrid numbers. And we know he's a marksman. But yeah, they did a good job of stopping Joe Harris. But I don't know, man. I can't just attribute it to Joe Harris. I think the offensive potency of that team. Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, I can understand that because that team was kind of manufactured. It was put together, especially with James Harden dogging it in Houston, coming over to the Brooklyn Nets. I felt maybe it might have been a little bit of karma. That's why he got that hamstring injury, because it's like you're not chase. We're not going to chase rings, and James Harden in that instant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I think so. I think so. I mean, James Harden is a very nice addition, but I agree. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. Well, we know Kyrie had knee injuries for the longest, right? That's the thing with Kyrie. We never know. It's either a shoulder or a knee. I mean, what was it in the first finals that Cleveland went to against the Golden State Warrior when LeBron took them to 6 games without Kyrie and Love? Yeah, his left knee is always an issue. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I remember when Clay Thompson said when he went to Boston, I'm glad we don't have to guard that guy anymore. Kyrie handles are out of this world. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah. The yeah. 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 I mean, I would if I'm trading for James Harden. If yeah, Joe Harris would have to be included in that trade because the NBA is all about its marksmen, and Joe Harris is like one of the best. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to. You have to. One of the best assets in basketball is spacing the floor, and when you space the floor, you got to do it with shooters. You know what I mean? Shot creators are great. The Nets have 3 of them, but you need your floor spacers, and your floor spacers was definitely Joe Harris. But yeah, I don't know, man. Listen. I hear you with Giannis, and you think the Clippers are gonna win, or you think the Clippers are gonna? So it's Clippers versus Bucks in the finals. Okay. No, but yeah. So this is the thing. You are allowed because the situation, the scenario has changed, right? Playoff P, yes, he has gotten the Clippers along with Terrence Mann to the Western Conference Finals, which that 39. Listen, I didn't know that explosion was going to happen by Terrence Mann. You know what I mean? For a second year guy to come out and produce like that in the closing game was astonishing to me. I would say this: you are allowed, right? Because the situation, the scenario has changed to change your predicament. I mean, your choice. Um, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Really? I don't know. I don't know, man. They just got rid of him in New Orleans. They just got rid of Stan in New Orleans. I would have liked to see Chauncey Billups. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but Stan Van Gundy has a way where he coaches an old style. And these guys today, they're tuning that out. You know, you kind of, the NBA is a players' league. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, but to be fair though, the difference between Thibodeau and Stan Van Gundy, Thibodeau has learned you can't grind your young guys to the ground. He didn't do it as much. Now, Julius Randle during the regular season had the highest usage rate of individual points, right? Not off assists. But Thibodeau understood, like, hey, you got, like, there was a point in the season where these guys went on an 8-game winning streak, and Emmanuel quickly wanted to get in the gym, and Thibodeau locked the gym up. Now, I don't feel like Thibodeau would have done that in Chicago. I felt like he tried to do that too much in Minnesota, but I feel like now with the Knicks, he's found a balance. With Stan Van Gundy, I don't think he's come to that realization. So I feel like Stan is more stuck in his ways than Thibodeau was. Than Thibodeau is, you know? I would like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, because he'll nip it in the bud and actually hold them to that. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know, if yeah, I think Giannis is definitely hungry. If the Bucks win, so I want the Clippers to win, and I'm gonna say this before the end of the show. I want the Clippers to win because I'm rooting for playoff P. You know, he had the mental health issues during the bubble last year, and a lot of people clowned him for it. It's funny now he's going against Devin Booker, right? So we get, yeah. I mean, I yeah, but if I feel like if Kawhi isn't there, I think the Bucks got it, man. I think the Bucks got it. I think people underrate Middleton. You know what I mean? But listen, I want to thank you, John, from Downtown Sports for coming in today and doing a really great job. I would love to have you back on. You know, we could talk some more sports. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, please, please do, because he doesn't listen to us. So, oh, you already know. I'm Joe Mambu. All right, I'm Joe Mambu, and you could definitely catch us on the Facebook blog where Big Sherm, you know, even though he's not here, he writes dope topics in between episodes. Catch us on YouTube, Instagram, and yeah, you guys enjoy your Father's Day, right? It's for the fathers, not the single mothers. It's for the fathers. You guys enjoy yourself. Yeah, we'll see. Listen, they have to, yeah, if they grilling is on point. Listen, I would have to agree. No, I hear you. But thank you again, John. for coming in, man. It was a pleasure. Let's do this again. And I'm Joe Mambu, and enjoy your Father's Day. And that's another episode in the bag. Peace.